Guys, I'm sorry for the delay. We had done a lesson on 107 but not 106 yet. So let's take a look at that now. Number 1 says draw a 2 1/4 inch line segment, then make it 1 inch longer. How long is it now? So this is a skill we've been working on, measuring to the nearest 1/4 inch. So when I drew the first part of this line, I did 2 whole inches and then 1/4 of another inch, which is not quite to the halfway mark. Then I extended that line segment 1 more inch. So if we start at 2 whole inches and 1/4 inch piece, and we go up a whole inch, that 2 turns into 3 whole inches and 1/4 piece of another inch. Number 3 tells us 311 children said yes on Monday. 125 children said no. How many more, which is a phrase meaning we're finding a difference, and that's subtraction. How many more children said yes than no? So our number sentence would be the 311 that said yes minus the 125 that said no. So I wrote that here so we can work this because we're going to have to do some regrouping. I can't do 1 minus 5. If the bottom is bigger than top, to my neighbor I will hop, and I borrow from the left and carry to the right. 11 minus 5 is 6, and I have to evaluate again. I can't do 0 minus 2. If the bottom is bigger than top, to my neighbor I will hop, and we borrow from the left and carry to the right. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 186 more children said yes. On number 2, the clock shows the time Corey's dad leaves for work. Write the digital time. Well, if we look at the clock, our shorthand tells us the hour. We have not touched or passed the 6 yet, so we're still inside the 5th hour. So that's going to go here. And then our minute hand goes around by 5s, count by 5s, count by 5s. So our minute hand is the long one over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So he leaves for work at 5:45. 40 is that commonly misspelled word, so double check yours. And then it says it takes him a half an hour to drive to work. So what time does he arrive at work? Well, an hour, a full hour, is 60 minutes, and he's going to take half an hour to get to work. So we're going to start at 5:45, and we're going to skip count by 5s till we go forward 30 minutes. So from 5:45 to 5:50 to 5:55, and then the hour changes because we get back straight at 12. And then 6:05, 6:10, he arrives at work at 6:15. Number 3 is actually easier than you think. We want to find a word where 4/7 of the letters are vowels. Well, we know that a fraction is part over whole. So the first thing I did was I crossed off any words that had more or less than 7 letters. And that narrowed it down for me. And then when I come to Georgia, it has 7 letters, and 1, 2, 3, 4 out of Georgia's 7 letters are vowels. Number 4, I need to use my knowledge of place value to write that in expanded notation. So I came out to the side and put it in the place value house. So if the 3 is in the thousands place, that would be 3,000 plus 500. 8 sets of 10 says 80, and 0 single units. So it ends up looking like this: 3,000 plus 500 plus 80 plus 0. On number 5, this equal sign tells us that both sides of this equation need to balance. Well, the square root of 16 is 4. What could I do to 9 and 5 to make this side also equal 4. So sometimes you have to plug them in and try them. And I was able to discover that 9 minus 5 would also make this side equal 4. Remember when that little 2 is floating up there, that's called an exponent, and this means 3 squared. It means multiply 3 by itself. And so 3 to the second power is 9. And what can we do to 18 and 9 to make this side of the equation balance? 18 minus 9 makes this side also equal 9. 7 times 4 is 28. And because there is 1 0 in the number 10, when I divide by it, I just take 1 0 off, and I'm left with 28. So 280 divided by 10 makes this side also equal 28. On number 6, they give us 3 different prices, and 2 of the prices have a place value of thousands of dollars, and this one only goes to the $100 place. So it's very important for us to line this up on the right side and keep our decimals and our place values lined up nicely. I rewrote that over here so that I could really spread it out and make sure it was lined up. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So my 5 goes down, my 1 goes to the rooftop next door. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 6 is 13. My 3 goes down, my 1 goes to the rooftop next door. 1 and 9 is 10, plus 9 is 19, plus 3 more is 22. So my 2 goes down and a 2 goes to the rooftop next door. So that from left to right, even on different levels, that reads 22. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 2 more is 5, plus 2 more is 7. 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 6 more is 15. So my 5 goes down, my 1 goes to the rooftop next door. 1 and 6 is 7, plus 1 is 8. And then to the left of my decimal, I go ones, tens, hundreds, and my thousands, comma, and don't forget your dollar sign. This is how we would write that amount on a check in words. 8,572 and 35 cents. On the back on number 1, again, we're finding a difference, and the 2 numbers they gave us require some regrouping. So I rewrote that to the side here so I would have plenty of workspace. I can't do 1 minus 5. If the bottom's bigger than top, to my neighbor I will hop, and I borrow from the left and carry to the right. 11 minus 5 is 6, 7 minus 5 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 126 more children said yes. Number 2, the clock shows the time the children in room 7 eat lunch. Write the digital time. Well, our hour hand is the short one. We haven't touched or passed the 12 yet, so we're still inside the 11th hour. And to count our minutes, we're going to go to where the long hand is. We start at straight up 12 and we skip count by 5s. A 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So they eat lunch at 11:45. Write the time using words. There's that commonly misspelled word 40, F-O-R-T-Y. Recess begins in one half hour later. At what time does recess begin? Well, a full hour has 60 minutes, so half an hour is 30 minutes. So I have my starting off time right here of 11:45, and in 5-minute intervals, because I'm good at skip counting by 5s, I'm going to go forward in time half an hour or 30 minutes. So from 11:45 to 11:50, 11:55, and we're back to the top of the next hour. So we're in the 12th hour now, 12:05, 12:10, and 12:15 is when recess will start. Same thing on number 3. Circle the word in which 3/8 of the letters are vowels. You can immediately eliminate, because this is part over whole, the words that have more or less than 8 letters. And once you've narrowed it down, Michigan has 8 letters, and 1, 2, 3 out of the 8 letters in Michigan are vowels. On 6,175, I just went to the top and filled in the place values, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. So if 6 is in the thousands place, it's 6,000 plus 1 set of 100. 7 sets of 10 means 70, and 5 single units. On number 5, the square root of 9 is 3. And on this side, 6 minus 3 would balance that out, and both sides would be equal. On this one, I came out to the side. 8 plus 7 is 15, so my 5 went down, my 1 to the rooftop next door. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7. When I'm dividing by 10, since there's 1 0 in the number 10, I take 1 0 off, and that makes both sides equal 75. 2 times 9 is 18, and 6 times 3 would make this side also equal 18. On number 6, they gave us prices again, where one of the numbers only goes to the $100 place, and 2 go to the $1,000 place. So I came out to the side and I spread them out as best I could and made sure that I lined up my cents, my decimals, my 1, 10s, hundreds, and thousands. We had to do a lot of regrouping here, carrying to the rooftop next door, and we end up with $4,443.73. And here's what it would look like in words.